What's going on, guys? Another week down in the books. An interesting rotation this week, to say the absolute very least. I have fallen in love with a particular cheap fragrance that I wore a few more times this week. Some stuff I reached back in the collection that I haven't worn in some time. I mean, a lot of stuff I reached back in the collection for. And some newcomer clones that are just fan-freaking-tastic. A lot of variety in this rotation. It's week number 122. So stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday and on Monday, this is that cheap fragrance I've fallen in love with that I was talking about, called Rasasi Hawas. You know, for the longest time, you guys were on me about getting my hands on this fragrance. I wore it all day Sunday, out the shower, all day Monday, out the shower. I had wore it all day Saturday, and so on. A lot of wearings in rapid succession because this stuff is just, I gotta spray it. It's just so good. The real spicy Invictus. I've called a lot of things spicy Invictus over the years, but none fit that term better than this one. Original Invictus came out, then this came out, then the first version of Aqua, then the second version of Aqua. I do think this smells a little bit more like the original Invictus than Invictus Aqua because it's so much sweeter. It's very sweet, aquatic, and spicy. It's basically, like I said, spicy Invictus. Performance is stellar on this fragrance. This stuff fills a room on my skin with 4 to 5 sprays. I've had my wife, I had a buddy of mine that I ran into at the grocery store. I've had people tell me this stuff. This stuff's a beast on my skin. For those of you that saw the individual fragrance review video that I did on it, this is a February 2022 manufacturing date bottle. So it's a brand spanking new filled bottle. Make sure to check out that full review to get all of the details on what I get from it, how it changes on my skin, because I actually have a lot to say about this fragrance in that video. But I have been digging this one. They lowered the price on the Amazon link that I provided in that video. It went from $41 when I bought it up to $47, down to $39. So I'll put that link down below if you guys still want to get your hands on a bottle while they're cheap like that. A lot of people have been purchasing from there and letting me know they got their bottle, and it's, you know, same manufacturing date. So this is some beastly stuff. As you can see, this is a purple juice, not the infamous clear juice that apparently was from 2021 bottles from what I understand. But I love this stuff. Definitely check out the full review, and if you're ready to get a bottle for cheap, I'll have that link below. But on Sunday and on Monday, all day long, I ran with this beautiful beast, Rasasi Hawas. Moving into Tuesday, this is some fragrances I reached back in the collection for. During the day, this is one that I featured recently that doesn't get enough love. Love's actually in the name. I really, really enjoy the way Love is Love, the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Flanker. I love the way this stuff came out. It's different. It still smells like light blue. It smells like it belongs in the light blue family. It's got this apple gelato note going for it that adds a touch of warmth and creaminess and some apple fruitiness. It's different. It still smells like light blue, but like a creamier, more delectable version of light blue. This came out to a lot of mixed reviews. This came out in 2020 and almost immediately went to the rack stores. I got this 4.2 ounce bottle for $30 at a Ross Dress for Less the summer that this fragrance came out. And then it was showing up at other rack stores for $40. Even at $40, it's a great fragrance for $40, and which I think 40 some odd dollar range is still what you can get this for from discounters online. And it's underrated, guys. If there's a way to get your nose on it, definitely get your nose on it. Secure a small sample or something. If you're skeptical about getting it and just blind buying it, you're better off trying it before you buy, because it may be a little boring to you. It is a little different, but it's not bad different. I applaud whoever is behind this at Dolce & Gabbana for not really taking a risk, because I wouldn't call it a risk. There's no challenge here. It's nothing challenging to wear. It's mass appealing in the Dolce & Gabbana light blue line. I mean, they're all mass appealing, easy to wear fragrances that for the most part are easy to like, and this is nothing short of that. Decent performer and just a little bit different. Honestly, it's one of my favorites that I've tried of the light blue flankers. So during the day, Dolce & Gabbana light blue, love is love. Now, this isn't necessarily reaching back in the collection out the shower. I wear this one out the shower a lot. I go through spurts where I'll wear it a lot, then I won't wear it for a few weeks, then I'll start wearing it a bunch again. I like to wear it casually in the summer. I've got multiple bottles of it. It is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Together. No secret how much I really enjoy this fragrance. It smells like the original mixed with a little touch, just a little touch of YSL Y. Kind of that ambergris feel from Y with that grapefruit and aquatic hit of Invictus Aqua. I really like this stuff. I always have. They pop up at the rack stores cheap, right around 30 bucks for a 100 ml, right around 20 bucks for a 50 ml like this, and not some monstrous performer. 4 to 5 hour type of stuff on my skin. Some people may get a little bit less. Some people may get a little more. 4 to 5 hours is kind of the best I can really hope for in my experiences with it, usually in that 4-hour range. But in the first hour and a half to 2 hours, it really pops off my skin, really pushes. I have gotten several compliments in this juice that has been used from here, that lower juice level. That's a lot of sprays to get to this level. And for as many bottles as I have, that's quite the dent for me, trust me. I really, really dig this stuff. This is one of those fragrances that I confidently recommend blind buying and just giving it a shot. Blind buy it and give it a shot. I'm willing to take the heat in the event that you don't like it, because it's a rack store. Worst case scenario, you can probably return it and get your money back if you don't like it, or you rolled the dice and got a really good cheap gem for cheap. So definitely one I like wearing casually. It's great in the heat, and it's great out the shower. I wear it a lot out the shower. That is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Together. Moving into Wednesday, we're still reaching back in the collection. This is one that I said I was going to go back to, and I've decided to go back to it. This is the original AZZARO Wanted. This caught a bad case of the great flankers. So this is a great first fragrance in the line. It really is. They did a great job with this. The problem is Wanted by Night is so good and beloved, and then the Most Wanted is so good and becoming pretty beloved in its own right. I know it's my favorite. This was one of those fragrances that I originally called Spicy Invictus, because it does have a similarity to Invictus in the opening. Then it turns into a cinnamon, warm, spicy type of heart of the fragrance, and some woods and stuff like that. A little bit of herbs in there to help add that warm, spicy feel to the fragrance. It performs really well. It's not the monster that Wanted by Night is, or even the longevity monster that the Most Wanted is, but it's above average. This is every bit of a 7 to 8 hour fragrance on my skin, and it projects really well for the first 2 hours. This is very pronounced. It will grab some attention. It will pull a compliment from time to time, and you can get it really cheap. 50 ml like this, right around 30 bucks from most discounters online. 100 mLs around 40. Wanted by Night you can get around 40, but this gets forgotten because of Wanted by Night. This is a little bit fresher. It doesn't have that tobacco note. It doesn't have that slight warm, ambery, powdery type of feel that Wanted by Night has. This is actually a better daytime fragrance, honestly. Though this can double as an evening date night scent just like Wanted by Night, this works better in the daytime in my opinion, spring, fall, and winter. This is some really, really good stuff. I haven't worn it in quite a while. I said I was going to reach back for it. I reached back for it, and this won't be the last time you see it in the near future on this format, the rotation videos. But during the day, the original AZZARO Wanted. And then when I got out the shower, this is one of those new clones I was talking about. So Michael Dinsmore, those of you familiar with him, the channel Making Sense, the small fragrance house known as Making Sense. He told me the whole reason he even made this in the first place is because I love the original so much. It gave him the idea to make it. And I got to say, it's a little bit more dense. It wears a bit more heavy. It's not as light and airy, but it still gives me the same feeling as the original Roger Parfums Oceania. This is from Making Sense. This is called Triton. If I could get it to focus, that would just be absolutely stellar. There we go. Triton, 17 ml like this will run you 20 bucks. All the way up to 100 ml is like 70 bucks. He's got a variety of sizes that's available. Oh, God, this smells so good. I wore it out the shower, and it's way too beastly for out the shower. I had somebody in a live stream, not the last live stream, the live stream before. So 2 live streams ago, asked me, what's a great summer fragrance from Making Sense? Here you go. Easily my favorite fragrance from Making Sense, even more so than what I dubbed the best of the house before with Fallen Leaf, which is a blend of 5 of Mikey's favorite autumn season fragrances, like 1 million Privé, stuff like that. There's a bunch of stuff in there. But this, close to the vest for me, because I really, really love Raja Parfums Oceania. And for those of you that are looking for a great alternative or just a straight up cheaper clone version of it, Making Sense has you covered. So check this one out for sure. MakingSense.BigCartel. That's the website you're looking for. If you search Making Sense, it's the Big Cartel website is Mike's store. And at least get yourself a sample. You can get a 2 ml sample. Try a few things from the house. I got another one we're going to talk about in a little bit that's worthy of trying, but pretty damn accurate. Not one-to-one, a little bit different. It's got Mike's little twist. It wears heavier. It's an extrait. It's a very high oil concentration, so it takes away some of the airiness and freshness of the original, but overall, pretty damn accurate. Makes me just as happy. Out the shower, Making Sense. Triton, his version of Oceania. Moving into Thursday. So, I wore this the day before I asked Instagram what's their favorite fragrance for springtime. This got the most votes, and I just happened to wear it the day before, so it was kind of strange the way that worked out. But the original PRADA L'Homme, I haven't wore this in some time. This stuff is just so freaking good. So good. If you like Iris, you really should try it. It's soapy, it's spicy, it's a little woody. There's some cardamom pepper type of smell going on here with this soapiness, this neroli iris combo. It's beautiful, guys. It's powdery, but not too powdery. It's floral, but not too floral. It's been dubbed by many as the king of the office and all that good stuff. Though I do believe for me, the king of the office is Versace Pour Homme. That's much more inoffensive than this one because not everybody's going to like, a heavy dose of iris, which this is a heavy dose of a fantasy iris note. It's not the earthy, violety type of smell that a Florentine iris is. So this is more of a synthetic, but at least it's a pretty decent quality synthetic. Performance is sneaky good on me for this one. I get every bit of 8 hours on my skin, and it's, like I said, sneaky good. I'm talking about the projection, not just the longevity. It can overwhelm me in the first 30 to 45 minutes. If I spray it too heavy, I've gotten to where I tone it back to 5 to 6 sprays. I used to do 8 to 10 sprays of this when I first got it, and that's actually too much for me because I like to spray my bare chest, and it's just way too much in my face. This stuff's sneaky powerful. I don't think it gets enough credit. I don't know if that's just the way it reacts on my skin. Yes, I've gotten my share of compliments over the years. It's not some big compliment magnet for me, because I know somebody's bound to ask in the comments. Yes, I've gotten the occasional compliment from this one. This is definitely one of those fragrances that makes me happy when I smell it, though, because I'm a big fan of Iris. I'm a big fan of the line. Really love this fragrance. I wear the low flanker and the intense flanker way more than I wear the original. That's one of the reasons I wanted to reach back for the original, because I just haven't been spending enough time with it. And honestly, if I had to just keep one, it's between this and low, but I really think I would just keep the original, because the original DNA in this case is just superb. And I would be fine to work across all seasons, all situations, because this is mega, hyper, crazy versatile. Dresses up, dresses down, works every season. Spray accordingly for what you need it for in your setting. This is some really, really good stuff. During the day, the original PRADA L'Homme. Now I got the shower. I haven't worn this in a little while. It was featured in a cheapie video recently. Made me want to wear it. HUGO Reversed. Great, cheap grapefruit vetiver fragrance. I mean, there's some other things going on here, but it's mega bright grapefruit. Funny story situation, actually. I had somebody in that video comment and say that I'm way off on this one. I'm completely wrong. This smells 100% nothing like Elysium. Look, Everybody smells what they smell in a fragrance. But for the most part, pretty confident most people agree with me. Is it a direct copy of Elysium Parfum Cologne? I've never stated that to be the case. What I have stated is this is a very affordable designer alternative to that fragrance. It has a very strong similarity to Elysium Parfum Cologne. So I found that to be interesting. It wasn't a trolling comment. It was a legit profile. He was legitimately telling me, hey, I completely disagree with you. You're way off. And it was all good in the hood. You know, we chatted back and forth. It was fine. I just thought it was noteworthy when I brought this fragrance up because it baffles me for somebody to say that this 100% does not smell like Elysium. So, like Elysium Parfum, I could get on board with that. Parfum Cologne, it's pretty similar. I would say 75% similar for sure. A great budget way to get something very similar to Elysium. Performance is nothing super special. I've had people in the comments tell me they actually get great performance out of it. I get average at best type of stuff, 4 or 5 hours. It's not winning any performance awards on my skin, but it smells friggin' amazing for under $30. So if you haven't checked this one out yet, you're kind of missing out in my opinion. Out the shower, HUGO reversed. Moving into Friday, this is the other Making Sense fragrance that I was shocked. I did a first impressions and live stream on this, and it's actually a little bit more woody than the original it's a clone of. This is Making Sense 4.0 Elixir. So this is Mike's version of Dior Sauvage Elixir. The opening, it's just as potent. My God, is this just as potent. You don't need but a few sprays. This stuff's a beast. But it gives me that cardamom, nutmeg, dry woody spice with a nice dose of lavender. Honestly, I think there's a little bit more lavender here. I get more of an aromatic lavender, slightly soapy feel than I do from the original. It's not quite as airy. This wears a little bit heavier. Like I said, Mike's uses, I don't know what his oil concentration is. I know it's an extrait. I just don't know what concentration of oils he uses. If I can get this to focus, that'd be great. So I could show you extrait de parfum. So what kind of surprised me about this is it rivals Alexandria's version very well. Like, it's a close race. I'm going to continue to spend time with both, and I may have to do a battle video between the two because they're that close in how well they replicate Dior Sauvage Elixir. Because I've praised Et Sauvage Elixir from Alexandria Fragrances as what I've tried, the best clone of Elixir. Till I got my nose on this one and spent some time with it, because this very well could rival it. Is it better? I'm not sure yet. It's at least as good. So keep that in mind. Try for yourself. I'm going to continue to do some further testing. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know down in the comments. 4.0 Elixir from Making Sense versus Alexandria Fragrances Et Sauvage Elixir. Let me know if that's a comparison you guys would like to see, because I'll continue to focus a little bit more on the testing between the two for comparison's sake, if you guys really want to see it. Otherwise, I'll take my time with it. But I was very impressed by this fragrance. I really, really was. I couldn't believe that immediately upon, the first 20 or 30 minutes of spending time with this, how impressed I actually was with the accuracy. And then when it came down to it, and I had the original on top of my forearm, this was the first impressions. The original Dior Sauvage Elixir up here and 4.0 Elixir down here. And I actually found myself wanting to smell this one more because it had a little bit more lavender and it was a little bit more woody in the dry down. It's the tweaks Mike made to the formula to make it a little bit more the way he would want it, I guess you could say. Kind of is how I like it more, honestly. So Mikey's been doing some really, really good stuff, guys. Really, really wish you guys would try more stuff from him. Fallen Leaf's a must. Definitely check out Triton, and apparently you need to check out 4.0 Elixir. Grab a little 3-pack sample, get you 3 2ml decants for a couple bucks a piece, and try out his work. Michael Dinsmore is doing some fantastic work with these fragrances. Again, during the day, Making Sense 4.0 Elixir, his version of Dior Sauvage Elixir. I have been very, very impressed with what Mike's been doing. And then out the shower, I don't know why I was in the mood for this. I haven't wore this in a long time. I think because warmer weather's starting to come around a bit more. It was in the 70s again today, and Summer Vibes has been on my mind. Authenticity's got some new fragrances coming. Clean Musk and Cherryland. I'm actually pretty excited about those. And I grabbed the original Summer Vibes. This is like super fresh version of the 2.0, the green label, my favorite one. I'm going to be wearing that one a lot more in the summer. This smells similar, just a little bit lighter. Still performs really well. It's just a more airy version of it. The cannabis note isn't as prominent. The lavender's not as heavy. I find there's a lot more citrus. The citrus dominates the opening a bit more. Like it's tweaked. It's not the exact same. It's pretty much the same formula, but the balance is changed. God, this smells so good. I did 4 sprays of it. It was way too much for just chilling around here before bed out the shower. But, man, like I said, it's a lighter, airier version of the green label, Summer Vibes 2.0, which is my favorite fragrance from Authenticity Perfumes. So, I don't know how many people still have a bottle of this. I mean, it's not something you can get your hands on. If you want the better version, get the green label. But I was in the mood to reach back for it. I haven't wore this one in quite some time. This wasn't even my favorite from the house when it came out. When the new one, the second version came out, it became my favorite. This was number 2 behind Barbershop for the longest time, which, check out Barbershop if you're looking for a great shaving cream barbershop feel. Authenticity's got you covered. That's my second favorite barbershop fragrance behind At the Barber's from Mason Margiela. But I'm rambling a little bit. My apologies, but I really, really like this, and they have some new offerings coming out that I'm more excited about than I was with Coffee Lush. So, and some of you know I really, really dug Coffee Lush. It was basically a vanilla latte. But yeah, if you've got an old bottle of this, maybe it's time to pull it out because it's nice to go back to. Like I said, it's the airy version of the green label. Out the Shower, Authenticity Perfumes, Summer Vibes. Finally, on Saturday, we're reaching back, seriously reaching back here with these 2 fragrances. I haven't wore these in quite a while. The Out the Shower fragrance, I really haven't worn in quite a while. Forgot how weak it is, but forgot how good it smelled. But the Daytime fragrance, I forgot how much I like this fragrance because it's been so long. Armani Code Colonia. Another one I talked about recently in a video, and I was like, man, I need to wear that. I haven't worn that in so long. At the recording of this is late Saturday night. I waited till after WrestleMania Saturday night to record this video, and yeah. I had this on all day and was loving it. Wife was loving it too. Stays true to that sweet powdery tonka bean DNA, that thumbprint that the Armani Code line is known for, with some freshness, some citrus up top. It's more warm weather appropriate than most of the recent flankers, even more so than the newest version, which was the Eau de Parfum Absolute Gold, Absolute Profumo. They're all sweeter, darker, heavier fragrances. You know, they're not really built for the hot weather. And I'm not saying this is necessarily built for the hot weather, but it definitely works a lot better in warm situations. South Texas type of heat in the summer, I've worn this fragrance. It's been that long since I've worn this somewhat sporadically, so it was nice to reach back and really wear this one. Above average performer, sneaky projection that will surprise you mainly in the sillage once the projection tones down after about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I get every bit of 8 hours on my skin with this stuff. It's kind of the blue, not just because of the color, but the blue version of Armani Code. Really love this stuff, and you can still get it for $50 or less for 75 ml testers, which is just like this. This is a 75 ml tester on eBay. You can still get them. I've seen them for $35 up to $50. Absolutely worth the money. During the day, Armani Code Colonia. And I got the shower. This is the one that I forgot how weak it was on my skin, but it smells so good. It's a fresher, muskier take on Aventus. It is Rayon Tradition. Insurrection Pure 2. Yep, there was a time, even before, long before I had this channel, that this was hyped, very hyped as a great Aventus clone. And look, it definitely smells like Aventus. Is it 1-to-1? Nah. Like I said, it's fresher up top. It's way more synthetic, obviously. You get this for 20 some odd dollars. Low $20 range still. Even after all the inflation hike up, these Rayon Tradition fragrances are still mid to low 20s. You can get them cheap. And they're all pretty good for the most part that I've tried. There's newer versions of this. There's an Extreme. There's Insurrection 2 Pure. There's other versions that have come out since this, but it's still a solid fragrance. If you're on a budget, this is still one of the better Aventus fragrances. Before the market got flooded with fragrances that smell like Aventus, when there was only, maybe 15 of them, 10 to 15 that people really knew about, this was one of the 5 most talked about. Not the case anymore, but it's still a really good fragrance to get your hands on. And it's been a long time since I've worn this. It was nice to revisit it. I'll keep it on my rotation table. I'll revisit it again. I like wearing it out the shower. I did 4 sprays around my neck. I may do that again tomorrow or within the next couple of days. Like I said, I'll leave it on my rotation table because it is quite the enjoyable cheapie. One that, like I said, doesn't get any love anymore these days, which is sad because it is a really good fragrance. Out the shower. Insurrection Pure 2. Well, that's week number 122. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What'd you guys wear this week? That I was destined to ask that. I love reading you guys' rotation every week in the comment section on this video format. Man, I don't even know what I'm going to title this week's rotation, honestly. Because there's some new clones in the video. There's some old favorites, stuff I haven't visited in a long time. There's a lot of clones in here, actually. I don't know. It may be something clone related or cheapy related. I don't know. But there's a little bit of all of that going on here. There's a lot of affordable stuff that's really, really freaking good. Hell, the most expensive thing in this video is PRADA L'Homme. So it might have to be something along the lines of being affordable, because this is quite the affordable rotation this week. Just goes to show you don't have to spend a ton of money to smell great and really enjoy how you smell. Pull a compliment from time to time. Get performance. There's ways to smell good without spending $200 to $300 on a fragrance. Are there great expensive fragrances? There's a ton of great expensive fragrances. There is. There's also a ton of really good affordable fragrances that'll do the trick. Until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the ones I wore this past week and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.